All right then, so waste management, it's a growing problem, not just for Kenya, but for pretty much all countries around the world. Urbanisation and pollution are some of the big contributing factors there. Now, although urbanisation is a potential engine for economic development, more often than not they go hand in hand, it does come with its fair share of challenges, key among them being how to manage all the waste produced in those urban centres. Kenya's just finished, of course, hosting the United Nations Environmental Assembly. This comes months after the country made the very bold move to implement a complete ban on plastic bags. So then, let's get an assessment of Kenya's waste management problem and the opportunities it represents as well. Samuel Matonda is the Responsible Care Coordinator at the Kenyan Association of Manufacturers. He's with me in studio right now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So the last time we spoke, the plastic bag ban had just been introduced and we're still trying to feel our way around it. It's now been in place for the better part of 3 months. How has it affected your members?
Well, the ban has been effective, and there were challenges that we anticipated that they could be there in the implementation, and some have been resolved. There's some that are pending, but of course there's a lot of discussion that we are having, engagement with the Ministry of Environment.
So which ones are pending at this point?
Well, you'll realize that there are some sectors that you find that the industrial packaging for those plastics, packaging that is used, for example, for bread, for pharmaceuticals, those were some of the issues that we raised. But then they have been given lead time to transit to other alternatives as they are being sought. But then also when you look at the food and beverages sector, there are also other appeals that have been made. But what I'm saying is that it's pending because maybe the clearances have not been completed, but we are aware of the status because we are always in consultation with the Ministry and NEMA, and we know that we are following closely on that, and that team has been set up at the National Environmental Management Authority, that's NEMA, which is fast-tracking the appeals and the clearances. So those are some of the challenges we are saying, or how are we going to implement this? Are we ready for this? How are we going to identify which sectors will really need to be given some more time to transit? Initially, it was just a ban that it is effective immediately. All plastics, you don't have to use it in any way. But then we realized that yes, after the discussions, yes, we are agreeable to the carrier bags ban. Right.
So just very quickly,
yes,
that transit window you're talking about, how long is it?
Well, it depends on the sector. What I can say is that there have been very good discussions between the manufacturers and NEMA. And if I can give an example of the bread, the bakeries, I trust that they have been given about 6 months.
To shift over into alternatives.
To shift into alternatives. That's what the Director General actually even said yesterday in the UN event. So that's one, and others could even take maybe 3 months, others could take 1 year, depending on the availability of the alternatives.
All right. But you still are facing challenges, though, because we've seen one of the regional county assemblies, Wasingishu, for example, passing this resolution. They're demanding that retailers go back to the old days where clients were not paying for packaging. I mean, is this going to be the start of a new wave of demands from consumers?
That is one of the issues we were raising earlier when the ban came in place. Because we said that, we were saying that how ready are we to transit? How are the consumers going to move on? And I think what the Wasingishu County may have done is maybe they are responding to what the electorate is asking for. And they were like, how do we get, the cost of living is going up because I have to purchase, I'm going to the supermarket maybe to buy an item, and then I'm buying packaging material which is costing more expensive. Like if I'm buying tomatoes, I have to buy tomatoes for maybe 10 shillings or 10 cents of a dollar, and then I'm paying 30 cents of a dollar to buy the packaging material. So there should be cost-effective or affordable alternatives, and I think that's one of the issues we are raising, and we are discussing with the government on which other alternative school work based, but where there is no alternative, that's why we've been discussing with them and saying, can we have more time so that we discuss about this, and we all agree that we need actually to clean up the environment, but we have to also be able to be realistic and say this is doable, this can be done immediately, this can wait for some time.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Samuel Matonda, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.